Tony Marlo was Woodmont Country Club's connection to the game.
He knew everybody and all the members so well that, he knew their swing. He could fix them in, 2 minutes.
Back in the day when Tony was raising us, I kind of think of it, he didn't just hire you to work for him. He hired you to groom you to become a professional.
Mr. Marlowe was everywhere. You always just, whether you saw him when you came through the golf shop or you'd see him on the lesson tee, or I always remember him being on the first tee every Saturday and Sunday morning.
Tony Marlo cared about the love of the game as much as any golf professional I had ever met. But I think more importantly, he cared about the members at Woodmont Country Club.
He treated people the way he wanted to be treated.
He was just a plain likable guy. Everybody liked Tony.
When I think back on these times and the dreams we left behind, I'll be glad 'cause I was blessed to get to have you in my life. When I look back on these days, I'll look and see your face. You were right there for me.
On March 17, 1960, Tony Marlo brought to Woodmont Country Club a golf expertise honed under the tutelage of Herman Barron. Tony quickly established his trademark of unparalleled service to the members of Woodmont.
The Woodmont Country Club through the years has always been respected as the top club in the area when it comes to service, and you need a leader. And the history behind the leadership as it relates to service, it all goes back to Tony Marlo.
The first words out of his mouth were service, service, service. We're here to provide service to the members. We're here to make their day a pleasant one at the golf course.
He was outstanding at taking care of the members, and the members here just loved him. They never had a member show up anywhere. I think Tommy hit Rockville Pike way. Tony knew somebody was coming in.
Everybody was dealt with the utmost of respect. Everybody was referred to by Mr. or Mrs. so-and-so, their last name.
Two members would come into the shop. There would be a disagreement on a ruling, a golf ruling, and by the time that they had met with Mr. Marlo, they both left happy. They both had no problem. His people skills were the best that I had ever been around at the time, and probably still are the best that I have ever been around.
As a golf professional, made your golf experience and your day when you were at Woodmont Country Club, he enhanced that day and made it better. So his legacy was he cared more about the members than he cared about himself.
He ran the entire golf operation. He ran every event. He ran everything right down to whose clubs got cleaned and the carts were clean. And he cared about all those little details, and the members knew that. The members could see that Tony was golf at Woodmont.
In addition to his service, Tony Marlo was known for his devotion to the junior golfers at Woodmont, with a commitment to impart his love for the game to any young golfer he took under his wing.
He was like a little Pied Piper. The kids loved to follow him around, so it was pretty easy for him.
Probably because of Dad, I think the juniors were respected a little more in how they played the game out here, and it wasn't like they were a second-rate group. I mean, they could play, and because they learned the game and they learned the etiquette.
The juniors at Woodmont idolized him, first of all. I mean, the respect that they had for this man was absolutely unbelievable. They would do anything in the world for him.
The kids were allowed to, in the summertime, they were allowed to play a lot, and we allowed them to sneak on to this 9 and to that 9.
I remember I made a few mistakes, and I wasn't allowed to play for a week one time, so the etiquette was very, very important. Fixing ball marks, anything that it came with being a gentleman. It was a gentleman's game, and that's the way Dad wanted it to be, and that's the way he taught the juniors that it should be.
If you were here as a junior and you were putting in the time and the effort, he was just there for you. He was not only our teacher and our coach, he was just a friend. He mentored us, he fathered us, he took us aside when we needed taken aside and told us how to conduct ourselves and handle ourselves, not only on the golf course, but as with any parts of how we grew up.
A consummate PGA golf professional, Tony was considered an expert in many areas of the business of golf. Of course, he excelled in the game of golf as well.
He was possibly the best putter that I had ever seen and had ever been around, and we always had fun with it because we might get to the green or closer to the hole than he does, quicker than he did. But I mean, he would roll a 20, 30-foot putt in like it was absolutely nothing.
I mean, he knew how to get the ball in the hole. He had all the shots. He basically, he just, you wanted to be like him. You played with him, and you wanted to impress him because you knew he had the savvy of how to play the game.
A fellow at Green Springs said, well, what did you guys shoot? He said, I don't know, we don't keep score. And he said, well, who won? Nobody won. He said, well, I don't understand how you can play and don't have fun. He said, well, we just go play and enjoy each other's company.
This was the epitome of the golf professional. This is the way a golf professional should act at work, do his job, appearances, the service aspect, everything there is to being the perfect professional, Tony was.
Tony became a tough but fair mentor to his staff at Woodmont. His guidance and devotion to his assistant professionals has ensured the Marlowe legacy in the game of golf.
He placed as many golf professionals in other country clubs and daily fee golf courses as any human being I've ever seen.
He wanted to train us to go on to being a head golf professional. So he would let us take more responsibility, and we would fall on our face quite often, but he'd show us where we were wrong, and he basically took me from a professional golfer to a golf professional.
Your game was important, and you had to be able to play well, you had to have the respect of the membership, and that was important. That was, a very important part of being a golf professional.
He took a golfer and tried to turn him into a golf professional, and I really think that was the best way to do it, and that's why so many people have walked away from here and had some success.
He's a professional's professional. He took the time and the care to make sure that your career was going the right way, and if you were straying a little bit, he would tell you what you needed to hear.
He made that perfectly clear when he hired you, that if you stayed here for a few years and learned and listened, that you could walk away from here as a head professional. And he did a lot of little things to make sure that you were ready to do that.
He knew how to get people jobs. He knew what was important to become a golf professional, how to get that professional job, and those were the things that just set him apart from all others.
He always thought a person who had become a PGA member was special. They had an image to uphold in the golf business, and that membership and those initials meant a lot to him.
Your love made me make it through. Oh, I owe so much to you. You were right there for me.
Those whose fortune it was to come to know Tony Marlowe have kept a piece of the chief with them for the rest of their lives. He will forever be with all of us.
The biggest thing with Tony, he welcomed me with open arms. He was right there, always nothing but good things to say, always trying to steer me in the right direction. And he was like a father figure to me.
Other than my father, he was the most important gentleman in my life.
He cared about everybody, and everybody felt like you were the only person there that he cared about.
He definitely had an influence on the PGA and the professionals.
The rules of golf that he applied to the golf course, he also applied to life off of the golf course.
What made him special, I think, because he enjoyed life. I can tell you, he enjoyed every minute of it.
It was love.
Every day for 30 years at Woodmont, that speaks for itself. I mean, just going to work every day, and I don't think, I go back through all the time, I don't think he ever even called in sick. That's dedication.
In my dreams